Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot in Wonderland by Barbara Moore, illustrated by Eugene Smith. Website at the bottom is llewellyn.com. Feel free to check that out if you would like to, of course. Supportive Oracle cards. Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. On the back here is the website rockpoolpublishing.com.au is an apple, U is an umbrella. Okay, what do we have for Cancer? Cancer. Alright, hold on. Ooh. Sometimes you just gotta say what you just gotta say. Are you saying something or somebody else? Alright, so I see the Page of Wands for no. Page of Swords. You're supportive here, but like you're definitely supportive, but are you what's going on? Somebody's saying something. I get like there's a conversation. I feel like it's just like happening. I'm not even sure if you could call it brutal or just like matter of fact. I don't really know if you would call it brutal or just kind of like matter of fact. Kind of like we're just listing off the facts. And then when we list off the facts, we know what we need to do, we just do what we have to do. Somebody's just like listing off facts. I keep getting like listing off facts. It doesn't matter if they like it or not. It doesn't matter who likes it or not. We have to list off that somebody's defining the situation for what it flat out is. It's not about, how do I explain it? It's almost like saying, it's like if you're looking at a cake recipe, because I like food analogies, all the ingredients that are going into it, and then these are in the beginning part. You have to put all the dry ingredients here in this order. You got to sift through this. You got to put this thing, you got to make sure this is chilled enough before you put that there. It's like all the things that have to be done and why, just in like a factual way. Like if you want this result, this is how you create this result. This is what you're going to need, how you put it together, when you put it together, the way you put it together, how long you wait for this, how long you wait for that. It's all very just factual. In the sense of like, I don't see you like I almost feel like I'm looking at this from your side, kind of like that's how they do it, so clearly it works. Like if you were dealing with somebody who made a cake and they were really good at making cakes, you'd be like, this is how they do it. I've had their results. I know it's good. This is how they do it. They're just giving you the facts about how it's done. That's what it is. I feel like that's how I'm looking at it. Like that's just the facts. And I'm not contesting anything, but I don't really want to. But I almost feel like if somebody else is contesting it or trying to, I feel like I'm still stepping forward. Like, no, they do it. They make it. I've had it. They make cake. I've had their cake. It's a good cake. That there's nothing to complain about. It's just how it is. That's how they do it. And if we want the same result, this is how we do it. Because there is some type of something here. What is the energy around this? Because I feel like I'm looking at this like, why would you contest that? This is just how they do it. That's just how it is. 8 of Cups. And then the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Somebody else is like, how do I explain this? It's almost like they want to take, this is messed up. Okay, so we're looking at a cake recipe. I'm going to use the same analogy, but they want to put things in order of alphabetical order and how they put it together. And that's like, wait a minute, what? It's kind of like, no, I want to put everything together in alphabetical order. That way nothing gets confused. But it's kind of like, no, because this has to be cold. All the dry ingredients have to go in together for a reason. And this has to be sifted first. And that has to be done this way. And the butter has to stay cold a certain way. And the eggs have to be room temperature for this reason. And like, you have to do these you don't, like, I feel like I'm like looking at somebody like, wait, what? Like alphabetical order? Like what? Like no, that's going to create some, you're gonna end up with bread instead of cake. Like I don't think that's gonna work out right. And even then, I don't know if it's gonna taste right. That's not how you do that. Kind of like you like part of the frosting ingredients. Like you wouldn't know, like they wouldn't go in the actual cake. Like some of this doesn't actually end up going directly together. The frosting is a part of the end product, but you don't put that in the cake batter. You don't put that stuff in the cake batter. That's not how you do this. And it's kind of like they keep trying to put it in alphabetical order, and you're like, no, that doesn't make sense. And like it does make sense. You're like, no, it doesn't. I keep like I'm watching this play out in my mind, and I'm like, somebody trying to put order into something, but by their way they're trying to create order, they're creating a mess. They're creating chaos with the way they're handling order. Like you don't put that in alphabetical order. That's not how. I keep watching it. It's like frustrating me, and I'm like, it's just an analogy, but it's very frustrating. Kind of like no, you don't. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like really that's not how that works. Hopefully that analogy made sense because it's really for some reason frustrating to me that somebody would do that. Like no, you don't put that in alphabetical order. That's not how that works. It's not how that works. They don't seem to understand what they're talking about. Somebody else is trying to take control and they literally don't understand what they're talking about. And I feel like it's very frustrating to try to explain to them why they can't do things the way they want to do things. Because I'm also looking at this in the sense of like, I really would already expect somebody to know that. Kind of like you wouldn't put the frosting ingredients in the cake batter. Like I feel like it would be very frustrating to explain it to somebody. Like, wait a minute, do you bake at all? Do you cook at all? Have you ever experienced a kitchen? Like, why would you do this? Like, why? It's really like unnerving me a little. I'm kind of surprised. Like if you're trying to put frosting ingredients in the cake batter, I feel like that would like, oh my God, I think I would lose it. I think I'd just look at somebody like, you're kidding, right? That's a joke, right? Like, that's a joke, right? And I feel like the person who's coming forward, matter of fact, might be where it gets a little brutal, kind of like somebody. I don't know. I hope I wouldn't be that one, but I could be that one. Kind of like you want to put the what and the where, like you want to do the what and the how, like you want to who and the where, the when, what. I feel like I would have that moment. I feel like I would just kind of, just matter of fact, maybe brutally, just be like, no. You don't put the frosting in the cake batter, you cuckoo pants. No, I don't think so. There shouldn't be name calling, I know, but I think I would lose it. I think I would just lose my cool. I think I would just snap. I really do. For some reason, it's really getting under my skin. It's weird. I'm surprised it's bothering me that bad. Like, why? Is there some other component to this that I'm not clicking into? Or is that how it's reacting? Is that how somebody's reacting? Is that what I'm missing? 4 of Pentacles reversed. It's like the undoing of the situation, and then the Magician reversed, which is telling me, yeah, somebody might really take that a little too far. Because when I'm thinking about it, I know cuckoo pants isn't a big deal, but still, name calling. We don't want to get into name calling, obviously. Somebody might literally get really bent out of shape that this other person wants to put things in order that doesn't make sense. And while, yeah, I do feel like whoever this is flat out wrong because it doesn't make sense, I don't think we need to brutalize them, and maybe somebody is. Maybe that's what I'm missing. Because a lot of power comes in. Something comes in really fast. I also feel like the person who is trying to put things in alphabetical order, if you will, is being pushed aside and flat out ignored. The other person who's a little stronger is just moving forward and kind of like, we're just going to do it this way, and I don't have time for that. Because somebody comes forward with a lot of strength and just pushes forward. You seem to be supportive here. I feel like I'm not causing an issue. What does that mean? I agree that it's like you're in the camp of where, you know, this gets done. Like you don't put the frosting in the cake batter. Like to you, it's like, well, obviously you wouldn't do that. I feel like I'm not saying anything, and I'm just going forward with the person that I believe in. Kind of like, nope, they know this doesn't go there, and that's correct. I agree, so I'm just going forward with that. I'm not talking about it. I'm just going forward as if the other person just needs a minute to figure out what they're doing. You seem to be fine, and you're just kind of like, I'm just going to go forward with what works, and I'm not going to address what's not making sense here, because I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with that anyway. So I'm just not doing anything with it. You seem to be fine. As we keep moving forward, something's wrong here. Is that the Knight of Pentacles? Knight of Pentacles with fruition. You're gonna go with the person who makes sense. The person who makes sense to you, at least. And you're gonna help this work out. The situation is gonna work out. It's kind of like if we're gonna do the whole cake thing, we get the cake made. The cake is the way it's supposed to be. The cake is good. Okay, that's good. But the thing is, there's something up with this person who is trying to put things in alphabetical order. I feel like there's more to that. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune upside down again. And this time the Five of Wands came in upside down. They're not, something isn't right. The person who doesn't make sense, there's something wrong there. More has to, because I get like there's more stress later. More stress later, and it's like we have to figure out what's not right. Like I feel like we're taking it on faith, like that was just a moment, but I feel like what the faith card actually is coming into is like saying, no, this is highlighting that something is wrong, and we need to figure out why that person thought alphabetical order was a good idea. Because it's like either they don't know the job, and that needs to be figured out sooner rather than later, or they might be having some type of emotional or mental disturbance, which is not a bad thing. Like nobody did anything wrong, but like maybe there's something else that's wrong here. I feel like that's what they're saying. Like getting through the situation, rolling with it, just getting the outcome that needs to happen makes sense for now, but realize that this is not a problem that's going away, and you're just seeing it. Maybe you're just noticing it by the way this person's handling the current situation. That's not going away. Something else is wrong here. What is Cancer supposed to do with this? I feel like it's all right for the time being to let it pass by, but keep it in the back of your mind that something's not right here, and it's not going to go away. I think that. So what is Cancer? What's in Cancer's best interest to do with this? Let's do that. Three of Pentacles and the Emperor. I feel like whoever this person is, I would work with them a little closer so you can figure out what the problem is. The sooner you see it, the sooner you know what to do with it. You'll know what to do with it. I feel like they're saying work with this person closer. The Three of Pentacles is working. That's putting effort in. But the Emperor is kind of like the truth. That's the truth seeker. Not in the sense of like, let's get along, but in the sense of like, wait, what's really going on here? Like, why did you really think that was the way to solve this? Not in a mean way, but it may be just kind of like, let's get to the brass tacks of it. Why is this person feeling this way? Why is this person thinking this way? Do they not understand this job and they don't belong here? Or are we having some type of emotional or mental disturbance that's causing other problems? Because I feel like we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg with this person. Something isn't right. And if you start working with them more directly, you'll see it sooner rather than later. Once you see it, you'll know what to do with it, and we can move it on. Otherwise, it could fester in the background, and it could be like causing a lot of small issues here and there that are going to add up to a bigger issue later, which we don't need. It's better to find, like, if we're going to use the mouse in the house analogy, it's better to find the mouse in the house in the beginning before it creates too much damage, rather than 3 or 4 months later when that mouse has multiplied into many mice, and then there's a lot of damage that has to be corrected because of all the damage that mouse did. It's like if you catch the mouse in the beginning and you kind of like, all right, we're going to trap it, take it somewhere else and let it go somewhere else 50 miles away, just for argument's sake, mouse is no longer a problem. If we just ignore it and pretend it's not happening, again, that mouse multiplies into mice, and then we have a lot more damage that we didn't want to deal with to begin with. That's kind of the analogy I'm getting for this. That's kind of like the advice to kind of like get closer to it now, find out what's really happening, because it's a small problem now. It'll be a big problem later if we don't deal with it soon. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.